Hello and welcome to the first of a video series detailing the functionality of our CycloMedia plugin to AutoCAD. My name is Sean Kinahan. I'm a senior software engineer with Brockwell IT, and I'll be walking you through some of the basic functionality of this plugin. As you can see, we've already got it initialized. We've got our viewer over here on the left side powered by the StreetSmart API of CycloMedia's. And on the model space viewport here, we have our corresponding widget that is just a visual representation that should stay synchronized with this viewer. So as I pan and zoom around, you should see actions happening in real time there over on the right side. We can also take actions here on this widget, navigation actions. This, clicking on the tip of this rotation line, you can see it highlights blue. This allows me to rotate. So I can rotate and pan around from model space as well to look at a point of interest. I can also control the field of view. So clicking on the edge of the cone here on either side should allow me to change the field of view of the viewer. Let me try this just a sec. There we go. You can of course also click and drag within the viewer to look around and use your standard mouse wheel or pinch to zoom functionality to change the view from within the viewer. You may have noticed these blue circles. These are part of the Cyclorama recording layer, which is one of the overlays available here. You can pull it up. They can be disabled here through the built-in menu. You can click on these Cyclorama locations to navigate around. You don't have to click on the next immediate. Any of the visible recording locations are an option. You can also grab the base of the cone widget here, and you'll see it highlights green, and that allows us to pick up the viewer entirely and drop it elsewhere. Let's try here. It should snap to the nearest Cyclorama location, the nearest one of these blue recording locations. So as you'll see, if I pull it and drop it not on a street somewhere over here, it should stick to the nearest street, or at the very least it should stick to the nearest location where data is available. Some other options for navigation include these widget controls here on the ribbon. So the orange colored buttons correspond to the orange view cone widget over here. So let's say I'm panning and zooming around on model space and I've lost track of where exactly my viewer is. I can easily get back to it by pressing this Go To button, which should center us right on that view cone widget / location. Again, it's fairly important that you stay in the same view of reference in order for this to work properly, so just something to keep in mind. Alternatively, if I'm navigating around here and there's another point that I wish to move the viewer to, another point of interest, all I have to do is roughly center my point of interest in the center of the viewport. Doesn't have to be perfect. Can always adjust later, and press center. And that should actually pick up the viewer and move it to right in the middle of the viewport. You can also toggle on and off the widget over here, which will not toggle the viewer itself. It'll just toggle the visual representation of the viewer. In order to disable the entire viewer and essentially return to the logged off state where all of this is disabled, you can press this toggle button here. And that should clear everything from the screen, as well as disabling the controls that are no longer valid. Thank you very much. Please check in our other videos to go deeper into the functionality of this plugin.